I'm so thankful to be where I'm at. Like, I want to tell my story because my friends who couldn't be here today, I want to live this life with them, for them. I know they're by me. My angels look over me. I almost got in a car accident coming here. You know what I mean? I was late.
Wow.
I rerouted like a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, there's a reason why I'm here today. I got to tell like my story.
So today on the Miami Hustle, we got Mateo, aka McGriddy, pulling up.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you having me,
Really
man. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Chris,
So-
right?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
So
it, man.
for the people that don't know, where are you from?
So I'm from Palm City, Florida. I was actually born and raised in Stuart, Florida. Yeah, I'm kind of out here doing my thing, doing the Miami Hustle podcast. Shout out.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
guys for having me. I
course.
appreciate you.
And McGriddy does a lot of nightlife and a lot of work with models out here in Miami. So it's going to be an interesting episode. We love the nightlife out here. And I just want to know, if you're not from Miami, what brought you out here to Miami?
I'm gonna give you a little background. You know, they call me McGriddy. You know, my name's Matteo Cagliano. I'm out here just doing my thing, man. I've just been doing a lot of stuff. So just give you a little background about me. I love Miami. Who doesn't? Shout out Miami, man. Shout out 305 Hustle. But why I love it out here, beautiful city, you know, good times, good vibes, the nightlife, the beautiful women. You know, this is a tropical area. So I feel like there's no place where you can party, go on yachts, have the beach, be all in between. I mean, like, you got Vegas, yeah, it's all about clubs, it's all about casinos. But here it's like you got a little bit of everyone and everything. And it's a melting pot. Come on, like, I love my people. I love Miami. I love my reggaeton.
Yes,
I like the good vibes. So
you love the perreo, I already know.
So I've been cultured to it. Give you a little background about me, man. Let's start out. I was like 16 years old. First, like, really, actually, let me trickle it back down. I think I was in middle school, right? And my friend said, let's go out to Miami. Let's go through. And we hit the tri-rail. I'm like, what? This kid's like 17 at the time. We're just listening to him. I'm like, yo, like, where are we going? Anyways, long story short, we came out here. We saw the city. We saw Ocean Drive. We saw South Beach. Beautiful, right? All of a sudden, it's ready to go home. We're having such a fun time. My friend's like, oh, we missed the tri-rail, so now we're stuck. We're like, what?
Damn.
Phone call to dad. You already know he's pissed off, freaking out. I'm like, I'm never going back to Miami again. I don't know what to do. Anyways, evolving from that. Man, I was in high school, just kind of doing stuff. Kind of like, I was that stereotypical, like, high school jock. You know what I mean? I was, like, in the football team, involved with house parties, sometimes kind of throwing them, and just, like, organizing stuff. So, getting into that, I went out to Fort Myers, went to college, the FGCU, you know, shout out.
Shout out FGCU.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun vibe. I was actually in a 5.5-year relationship, man. So
your whole time in college?
Actually, even before college. So coming from, we were high school sweethearts. So, well, I guess I was hers. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
That's funny.
So, like, we were doing our thing, and evolving from that, we went to college together. And just, like, it was cool. It was cool having someone support me at the time. But, like, something wasn't right, you know? Like, I felt like I just didn't know what to do, but I knew that I was evolving my education. I was doing something that was right for me. So I went and got my bachelor's in psychology, and I had a pretty good GPA, like a 3.68. Evolving from there, I never thought I'd even do something like that, let alone graduate from high school, graduate from, you know, college with my AA. Then I got my bachelor's. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I gotta step it up. And I'm like, I don't want to leave college yet. I got my, you know, evolving into it. For my first master's program, I was a clinical mental health counselor in training. So I wanted to help people.
Nice. Well, shout out to you for doing all of that. So far, you don't sound like a nightlife promoter at all.
That's why I'm trying to give people my story before they hear about, the nightlife.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I had a little party in between. Who didn't love to party? You know what I mean? When you're stressed out at college, having fun. So imagine me, a clinical mental health counselor, like, stressing out, like, doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? And it's hard. And being in a relationship, figuring out what I had to do. And I was actually in an internship. So I saw, like, about 30 clients, and it was not easy. So, man, like, one thing after another. Seeing these people, their struggles, the mental health, everyone from kids to teenagers to young adults, like everyone struggles in some way, shape, or form. Like we have our own struggles. Shout out, guys, if you ever need help, like reach out to the people, reach out to your friends. Like, man, like just know that, everyone has mental health struggles and I'm here for you guys. So if you need anything, reach out to McGriddy's Club Buzz. Like, I'd love to help you guys out. And shout out 305 Hustle. Appreciate you having me. He's always here to help you guys too.
Yep.
Evolving from that, right? I was like, hey, this is kind of stressful for me. I actually got put on something to where like it was during COVID, right? And we all know COVID was crazy. I was on online school. I was doing this. And like after seeing this and going for my practicum and seeing 30 clients, I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if this is for me, but I know I still want to be in the mental health industry, right? So I actually left the program and I said, hey, with a 4.0 GPA, I said I'm going to transfer into something else. I actually just found out recently, like a week before that, I was getting cheated on. After my 5.5-year relationship, it was crazy, devastating. Didn't know what to do, right? Within the next week, I left that program and I went into another one. I got my MS in entrepreneurship, master's in entrepreneurship from FGCU.
Wow.
So within 1 week, they actually accepted me. And then within 2 weeks, I was in that program. And shout out FGCU entrepreneurship program, master's, because it taught me how to be an entrepreneur, how to evolve myself, how to market, how to advertise. And like at the time, I'm just like, man, like I was kind of like a little down. I was a little upset. And my friend hit me up. He's like, yo, bro.
Oh yeah, you gotta go out.
You gotta go out. You serious? You gotta go out. So like I'm going through it, and like of course at first I couldn't go out. Like I'm like, nah, man, whatever. He's like, bro. He's like, I know you, and you're such a good vibe. And he's like, you had a girlfriend at the time. He's like, come out, bro. He's like, let's actually make something of ourselves. He's like, let's go out in FGCU and have fun. I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, let's do it. And
this yeah, you deserve it at this point. You've been going hard.
I appreciate it, bro. This, guys, realize this is Fort Myers, right? So what I'm about to tell you, this is not Miami.
Yeah.
Just separate that from what I'm about to tell you and then what I tell you after. Anyways, so my man, we went out and had fun. I'll tell you right now, I evolved, I networked, and I was actually becoming a promoter without knowing I was a promoter. So what happened was we just built our network of people, built our network of friends, started going to the bars, started going to the clubs. But sometimes I didn't want to drink every night. I didn't want to be the guy like getting blacked out, drunk. Of course, listen, I had my fun in college.
Yeah, for sure,
I had a good time.
You got to responsibly party.
For sure, responsibly, because, man, a lot of people lost their lives drinking. A lot of people have done a lot of things that are not smart. And then they evolve and they're like, hey, listen, I want to learn from my mistakes. Or like you see your friends, like sadly lose their lives at the end of the day. Like it takes from you, and it's sad. So like you want to learn from that. And then I don't know where I wanted to go, but I know I want to do something better with myself. So we actually we're kind of doing our thing. Like we had a lot of good looking people around us, obviously fraternities, sororities, and all this stuff. And I was that kid going out there, and I was not in a fraternity, but all the kids were like, yo, hey, come out with us. Like we see the girls you're around, as long as you're bringing the people, bringing bottles, like you can come with us for free. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say like any names, the frats or anything like that, because they're nothing to me at this point, and I was never affiliated with them. But shout out to the people who always accepted me with open arms. You guys know who you are. I appreciate you guys over at FGCU, man. It sticks with me because that alone led me into something bigger, right? So we met someone, and I guess you could say this is how it started with meeting high rollers is what they call it. But he was more of my friend, And this guy, I'm not gonna say names, not saying anything in particular, but he was someone who I felt was really close to me at the time, and I didn't even know who he was because he was just someone who was like, hey, I see the girls you're with, come out on the boat with us. I was like, come out on the boat? Yeah, let's go through and have fun. All right, bet. So, like I said, I was around a lot of people, clubbing, having fun. I was over in the college scene and on the college bars. Then evolving into that, this guy met us, you know what I mean? And he's got boats, he's got the mansion, he's got the yacht. This is not Miami, by the way. This is Fort Myers. So when you have something in Fort Myers where it's not everyone's doing, not everyone has access to, you bet people are talking.
Yeah, for sure.
People are like, hey, what's this kid doing? Hey, where's he at? Hey, what's he doing today? So that led to, hey, one little boat day, I think it was a 32, 35-foot boat. And like we had fun, like over in Fort Myers Beach, Lonnie Kai, shout out, you know, because they went through so much stuff, through Hurricane Ian, through all this stuff. It was devastating. Sure. And like before all that happened, I know I'm talking a lot and saying a lot of stuff.
No, you're good. You're good.
But man, like it was great before that all happened. So this little boat, like I said, right, turned into, hey, you want to come on our bigger boat? Bigger boat? What you mean? Nice. Yeah, like come through, let's have fun. And all the guys been telling me about it for a while. Like, yeah, like we were on the yacht in Miami. We were out here over in Bahamas. We were doing like things you never thought of, bro. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what, 22 at the time. I just got a relationship and I want to have fun.
Hey, welcome to Miami.
Welcome to Miami. Yeah, they had a good time out here. And the guys, you know, shout out Lonnie Kai group. Like if you know, like we had fun, bro. And like we looked at each other and we said, hey, like we want to make a little network of guys who like we can trust, you know, and like let's go out with them and let's go out every weekend with them. So we started going on this big boat, on this yacht, and it was like a 72-foot azimuth, however you want to pronounce it. And if people are gonna make fun of me in the comments, I'm sorry.
I don't even know.
It's like an Italian boat name. But bro, like
a big boat.
Yeah, big boat.
Yeah.
So then I pull up to this boat. And I'm like, and imagine for your first time, you're like, whoa, like I've never been on a yacht at the time, so I'm feeling pretty blessed. I'm feeling like everyone's like pretty close, you know? And I'm like, man, like, all right, I just want to show them respect. I want to show everyone a good vibe, a good time. So how do I do that? You bring liquor, you bring good looking girls, and you make sure that you don't break anything on the boat. You don't trash the boat. You don't do nothing nuts. Bring some food or something too. Like, guys, if this guy has a $5 million boat and he's inviting you out, come on, like, and like, but here's the thing, right? That hospitality led to, hey, you want to come back through? Of course I'd love to come back through. Yeah, just next time, bring some girls. I'd love to have you over, bro. Cool. Handshake turns into a friendship turns into a bond turns into something you never know where it's going to go. Sadly, you know, like, of course, we were really close at one point. We did this for like, 2 years straight, and I haven't even told you most of the things that we've done. This is only the beginning.
No, I was gonna say, so you ran shit in Fort Myers.
So Fort Myers, yeah, bro. All right, so we went like having boat days, yacht days, like 2 or 3 times a week. We'd go from the little boat to the big. We'd go to Fort Myers Beach, go to the mansion, go from the mansion to the little boat, from the little boat to the big boat, and then we'd go from the big boat having a great day. You know how much the gas, the drinks. He'd have stacks of Trulies, White Claws. I've never seen 50 to 100 like cases of White Claws stacked up in a corner before, and like we're just going out, hey, grab 20 cases real quick for the people. Okay, like that. And you're just going and like just feeding people alcohol, having fun, having good drinks, having vibes, right? So then it goes from that like to like we were getting sections over at Blue Martini. We were getting the biggest one in there. We're fitting 30, 40, 50 people to the point to where they couldn't fit us all in there. And like you know, it's crazy because I'm not gonna say too many things or too many stuff, but like, you know, my friends got a little wild at the time, and of course, when you have all that liquor in you and stuff, like things happen. And like, my friends ended up drinking and driving. Like, ended up going home one day after his birthday, and he ended up losing his life, bro.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, wrapped his car around a tree. I don't want to say the names, but shout out to the family and shout out to both of them. You know what I mean? Because it was so tragic. Me and my friends, they were devastated, and this is actually before our first yacht day ever. You know, wow. I think it's like our big one, like because I think like we went on it, but we were like, hey, like we're gonna really plan it. So then that happened. We're all devastated. We couldn't do anything. You know, of course, why would we party when
for sure.
we're grieving? So I remember we all gathered up. It was like 75 of us, and we went on the beach and we had like a candlelight ceremony, and it made me and the group and all the friends closer. So now we were like, hey, we're not just gonna party anymore. We're gonna have like a bond, a friendship. Like this is gonna evolve. Like this isn't just, oh, hey, we're going out anymore. And some of us, you know, became closer than others, of course. And like, I'm thinking about my friends. I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about where it went. And guys, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful to be where I'm at. And like, I want to tell my story because my friends who couldn't be here today, I want to live this life with them, for them. I know they're by me. My angels look over me. I almost got in a car accident coming here. You know what I mean? I was late.
Wow.
I rerouted like a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, there's a reason why I'm here today. I got to tell my story. I actually drove 3 hours just to get here earlier, then another hour just to come from Hollywood. Because I knew that like what you do, I respect your time. And like, we've been talking for about a month, just even trying to get this evolving, right?
Yeah.
So going from that, I'm like, hey man, like I want to have more fun. But like, not only that, but with the people who I care about. Because here's the thing, right? you see a bunch of high rollers out here with girls, right? But the thing you don't see them with most of the time is a good group of friends. And like, what's money without friends? And that's what I was learning. Imagine going on 50, 60, 70 plus yacht days. I was not a promoter at the time, by the way. I knew that I was kind of looking towards that way because I'm taking pictures with girls, having fun with people. Everyone's wanting to be around what we do. Hey, come out. As long as you're coming out, we're having fun. That's what promoting is.
Yeah.
Giving them the VIP experience, making sure everyone's safe, respected. And as long as you have a good reputation, like, people will come back and people will have fun and people talk a lot. And you know how that is in Miami,
For sure.
how it is in any hometown experience, you know? So evolving from that, after 70-something yacht days, after going out all the time, bro, we were calling, imagine like going out and be like, hey, like, I don't know if I want to go on the boat today. I was literally telling, you know, my girl this the other day. I was like, hey, like, imagine like you going through and just calling like a boat, like, I don't know if I want to do it, or like getting old, or what do I do with this?
Yeah, most people plan out a boat day for months just to be on that boat, that one time a year.
Yeah, and sometimes they only live that once in their life, if they're even lucky to live that. So people in Ohio, people in
especially
Michigan,
people,
stuff,
that aren't
no one's
from Miami.
doing this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
And they see these stuffs and they see the reels and they're like, oh, I want to live this life. And I'm like, man, I'm doing this. So now from that, right, I actually like graduated. This is all in graduate school, by the way, that I'm partying. Let's just say that graduate school. So I'm working on, shout out to Mental Health and You. I wanted to work on the company. I wanted to help people with mental health struggles. It's an online counseling service, and it evolves to help people. And it's going to hopefully, you know, be out one day. I'm still in the works of making it. It's just my passion. I want to be able to kind of do it. But from that,
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Sure,
it's amazing what you do.
Yeah.
And like, it's cool because it puts a smile on my face because now I'm going to sit here and tell you about my story just coming into Miami.
Yeah.
I know it took all that time. It took all that effort.
That's you. You're a very well-spoken person. So at this point, now we know a lot about you and where you come from. So now it's like we're about to find out how you took all those skills. And I feel like this life kind of chose you. You weren't out here trying to be a promoter. It kind of like, you know, just became your life. So how did you, from taking all of that knowledge and all those connections in Fort Myers, how did you take that to Miami?
Beautiful. Amen to that. And thank you. I appreciate you saying that. So how I took it from Fort Myers to Miami, man, I had some stuff go on right before I was about to leave Fort Myers. Like, I was actually seeing like the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel, and my friend was out there promoting, and I was just, he saw me on the yachts having fun. I actually brought a couple girls out there once. He's like, hey, you want to come back out with them? I'm like, I'd love to. Why wouldn't I want to come, you know, have a free section, have free, you know, cover. And sometimes it led to not having free cover because I felt like I was being taken advantage of at a time because people were telling me, oh, you can't have free cover. Oh, you can't do this when like you're running 10, 20, 30 girls at a time. So I'm like, after running 10, 20, 30 sections at someone else's tables and stuff, I know they're making money off me and doing this. So I'm like, man, I don't know what to do, but I got to take advantage of myself and my opportunity. But I didn't see it like that at first. I actually almost gave up. I actually said, hey, listen, like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if I want to support other people because I know they're making money off me, and I'm not just going to party for free anymore. Because partying's cool, but it gets old after a while, guys. You know what I mean? Like,
it takes a toll, too, if you do it too often.
Here's the thing, right? They always see the partying. They always see my pictures. They always see, oh, hey, you're around all these girls every weekend. Like, oh, you live the life. You live this. Guys, it gets tiring. I get burnt out. Guys, I struggle with mental health struggles because of this job, because of what I've been through. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to tell you right now, it's okay, but burnout is real. Like, not being able to produce sometimes the way that you want to, being able to stay on top of your job, being able to produce and show your bosses, hey, I can sell. I can, like, look, bring beautiful women, not just quantity, but quality. Being able to sell $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 sections, packages, being able to host events like I do, because I run, you know, day club events, not run them, but I help organize them. I help do activations in them. I co-host and practically host events, doing fashion shows, doing all this. I'm going to go back to something before I say all this. So before I came out to Miami, my friend, I don't want to say too much, but another one ended up, you know, passing away. He was my best friend.
Wow.
I don't want to say too much, but it was the most traumatic thing in my life. And I was like, hey, I want to leave something out here, and I want to leave it, like, you know how, like, when you're in a football game or like any of your coaches or something like that, like, give it 110%. Go give it your all. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go give it my all for me and him, because that's what he would have wanted me to do. He supported me. He represented me. Maybe I didn't know him for years on end, but like I felt like he was like someone so close to me that that bond will never be forgotten. You know what I mean? So like going off, I was like, hey, like I'm going to start a podcast. Shout out to McGriddy's Club Buzz, because that's what started the brand. That's what made me want to actually produce and want to do something more. So I'm like, hey, listen, like let's start branding myself, not just taking pictures of girls and everything now. Like, let's start McGriddy's Club Buzz. But now it's not a promotion thing, because I didn't even know I wanted to promote at the time. I just wanted to make a legacy and put something out there. Shout out Keys Bar, shout out McGriddy's Club Buzz, shout out my first episode, man.
How long ago was that?
It was about a year and
Okay.
2-3 months ago, about in October
nice.
last year.
Nice.
So when I actually produced my first episode. So I got to give you my background on that, and then I'm going to give you my background on how I actually started on this Miami thing, because I can't tell you that without this.
For sure.
So shout out Podcast Playground, shout out Shaq's radio station, shout out Delia, shout out the people who really helped me, shout out Gentry. I appreciate you guys, man, putting me on and believing in me in Fort Myers, because these people, they saw what I had envisioned, and they just said, hey, listen, you can either do one thing or another, but we want to see what you're about. And I'm not going to say like I did everything I wanted to, but I really tried. And like I think they knew that like I wanted it more than the average person, and I showed them that. You guys could look at my first episode. You guys could see what we did. You guys could see their backgrounds and see some of my first posts. I think I have like 200 posts now. McGriddy's Club Buzz on my Instagram reel. Shout out, guys, because you guys can hit me up for tables, tickets, VIP list, get girls in for any time for free. Helping people out, get the VIP experience. You know what I mean? But coming from that, I wanted to make this podcast, McGriddy's Club Buzz, talking about the buzz with all the clubs in Florida. And it didn't start with Miami clubs. This is starting with clubs in Fort Myers, over at Keys Bar, over at Pelican Larry's, over at places that like are so beyond what I'm trying to do now. You know what I mean? Because like these are places in the past. Like these are college kids. Like, yeah, it's cool bars. It's where I started. But now where I look, like it's only been a year and a half. And not even, maybe a year and like 2 or 3 months. I actually started that, right? And then I was like, hey, listen, I got to move forward. I did 2 episodes at 2 college bars, Pelican Larry's and Keys Bar. And then I said, hey, listen, I need to do something else in my life. I need to do something different. So January 1st, this is the story of how Mateo started his promotion. Before that, about 2 weeks before, I was emailing the manager of promotions at Dare Day and Nightclub. Hey, we see what you do. We see what you're trying to do. Would you like to work here? What do you mean? Obviously, after I kind of put in an application and stuff, thinking to myself, like, they really see what I'm trying to do. Got in a phone call. I didn't really know how promoting worked, He's like, hey, come out here, and like you can get paid for this. I already knew how to do it because I was already running girls in and out of Dare Day and Nightclub for other people, but I never got paid for it.
Yeah, bro, I didn't know that you're so new to promoting. I thought you had been doing this for years.
You think, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm so blind to this. I'm like, hey, man. And I was already doing it for someone else. Like I said, I did 20, 30 events at Dare Day and Nightclub before I even worked there officially, running girls in and out. I think my highest day before I was even a promoter was 35, 40 girls in my friend's section. I'm getting paid every time. Whatever. Never got $1, by the way.
And you said you weren't getting paid?
No, and it's okay. Like he was a friend of mine.
You were just doing it to show people a good time and.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You'd think like, hey, someone would scratch you off, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I mean? Because like I evolved, I did what I had to do, but like it makes me think to myself like, hey, like it could have been different because people saw my potential and they didn't want to see me run with it. They would have rather seen like, people want to see your downfall, man. They don't want to see you do good. They don't want to help you. And that's why I try to help a helping hand to some people. Because I'm like, hey, like, what can I do to help you guys? If you ever want to work, hit up 305 Hustle, hit up McGriddy's Club Buzz. We'd love to collaborate. We'd love to work. Models, influencers, people who want to just talk about their story, hit this man up. Hit me up. We'd love to have you guys anytime.
Let's do it. You already know. Let's go.
But that's what I'm talking about this. So, I don't want to say too many names, but like I said, he had me come on the team. He's like, man, let's see what you can do. All right, bet. This is January 1st last year, guys. I just want to let you know that. First day promoting.
2024? Like
2024, January 1st. Yeah, Subtronics.
So this is very recent.
I didn't even work that. Like, I think Subtronics was like a week before that or maybe like whatever. Don't quote me on the times and days. But obviously, January 1st, 2024 is when I officially started. So I think like my first ever promoting job, like the first one. I had like a tryout, back it up like 4 months prior to that. Someone told me to come out. They said, bring 30 girls out and we want to see what you can do. I brought 30 girls out. I rented a whole Airbnb. I had 10 girls stay at my Airbnb, had this whole thing happen, right? And this girl came who I was talking to. One thing led to another, and like I seen like her flirting with my friend, like them going back and forth while I'm promoting this event that I just brought 30 girls to, and I just showed everyone up. Did my thing, I had fun, but I'm not gonna lie. After I did my job, I went home and I was feeling it because, you know, I had a little too much fun.
Yeah.
But I did my job that night, was what I'm trying to get at. But that person completely, you know, hey, they didn't get back to me. I was like, oh, should I even promote? Should I even do this? Guy gave up at the time. Like, I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
Then I put in the application, like thinking this is my one last chance. And you know what? My friend, he actually sent it to me over DMs and he's like, hey, fill out this application. You could do this, bro. Filled it out, like I said, January 1st, 2024. I'm in because my mentor said, hey, we would like to have you on the team. I'm like, all right, bet. I didn't understand how big the team was. You're looking at like, it evolved from like 12 to 15 to 20 promoters to like almost 30, 40, 50. They had almost 110 to 120 promoters in this group chat, right?
Wow.
So now you're like, man, it's some people are either getting weeded out. I don't know why they're doing all this, but they want to see who can produce or who can't. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, shout out to every promoter out there in Miami and anywhere that you guys go because you all are hustlers. Y'all are providers. You guys are obviously trying to sell. I don't know what you guys do. Make sure you're respecting people. Make sure your people are safe and having a good time. But I'm going to tell you right now, it evolved into something new. And I know I keep going all over the place, but...
No, I'm like right there with you. Like, I feel like I'm watching a movie right now.
Really? I can't wait to watch this podcast.
No,
I'm going to watch it over and over again, man. And
so basically, you feel like you just made it, but realistically, you're just getting started because now you got to outshine 120 other people.
Well, here you haven't even heard my story now.
Yeah.
That's why you guys got to keep watching. But yes, at this point, yes, at January 1st, 2024, I got to outshine all these people. I'm at my meeting. I'm looking at all these promoters. I'm like, I got some competition.
And like they're probably from here, so you're already at a disadvantage.
Well, here's the thing, right?
Like.
Disadvantage. I'm in Fort Myers. I don't live here. I got a job 2.5 hours away. I'm traveling, guys. I didn't even tell you this. I don't live in Miami when I got the job. I accepted the job while I'm living in Fort Myers, trying to figure out what I'm doing while I'm kind of promoting bars over in Fort Myers, but I wasn't represented by anyone or anything besides my brand and my podcast. Now, my brand and my podcast trickled people down. Oh, he's branding himself. He's doing this. So I'm thinking like an entrepreneur, using my education, showing people like, dude, I'm going to use my background to my advantage. You know what I mean? And that's not only like my education, but like my street smarts, like what I've been through, what I've been told, and like some of the people I've been around, because it's going to get me to where I want to be. So my first actual event at Dare Day nightclub that I worked was G-Eazy. I think it was like January 15th, 2024. Didn't have that many people, saw the vibe. I'm like kind of nervous. You know, I went with a few people and a few girls, like just kind of friends, you know. But then I was like, hey, I see what I can do. I know I need to talk to people. And what I would recommend to any promoter, anyone trying to make it in the nightlife industry, show face. Be there. Like, you never know what you're going to do. Like, you don't always have to show up with 20, 30, 40 people at a time. Come up with 2 good-looking girls. Walk the club. Talk to people. I'm not trying to say, like, talk to any people walking the bar, GA. Go around talking to all the people you work with, your coworkers. Talk to the front door. Talk to the bartenders. Talk to the back door. Talk to the security. I'm not just saying you're going to be able to do that in the first day because it overwhelms you. You just want to see the club. You want to see the outlook.
Yeah, you got to feel out the vibes.
Here's the thing though, right? You want to intersect the club. The quicker you intersect the club and you say, hey, I want to look at the ins and outs rather than just partying, that's when you become a true entrepreneur and a true salesman and I wouldn't even just say a promoter, but someone that's trying to look beyond promoting. And I was trying to do that since day one. Of course, you have to start somewhere. So now what you got to do, you got to bring the girls. You got to do the stuff. And how I did that.
I'll tell you right now. Everybody wants to know. How did you get the girls?
Shout out to McGriddy's Club Buzz. Shout out to the people. Shout out to me just having an idea and wanting to run with it. So I said, hey, listen, I'm going to turn my podcast page and my promoting page into an actual brand of a promotion page. So McGriddy's Club Buzz not only became a podcast, but it now became a promoting brand too. So get this. How do you guys do a podcast? You guys have photographers, videographers. How do I get things done? I got to take pictures. I got to do things. I had to edit. I had to be my own photographer. I had to be my own videographer. How's it start? guys, this iPhone will do magic for you.
Yeah. YouTube.
But here's the thing, right? No, not even YouTube. Content, like, people think you need the 4K. People think you need this
Bro,
and that.
iPhone is 4K.
You know, it is.
I started this podcast with 3 iPhones.
I started with an Android, bro. I'm not even talking about, like, the podcast. But I'm talking about back in the day, like, showing pictures with people, showing these house parties, showing this stuff. Now it evolves. Hey, take a picture of me and my people on an iPhone. Okay, you got 4 or 5 girls around you. Looks good. Take 20 of those pictures. See what kind of regiment you get off that. See what kind of traction you get off of that. Now that I'm not taking just my own pictures at the club. I had to hire someone. So I'm like, hey, my friend, I actually threw my own party at Dare Day Club, my first time, my first event. I hired DJs. I did an activation. Now I'm actually evolving because out of the 120 promoters, guess what? Mateo's already getting there. He's already doing his thing. I didn't even know it. And I don't want to sit here and tell you, hey, I'm there, I've made it. Because, guys, I have so much to learn. I have so much to do. But when people are coming up to me saying, hey, you're walking in some of the best girls. I want to be at your section. Every promoter is getting put at your place. All these promoters are getting put at your stuff. They're trying to ask you how to evolve. They're asking you for a reason. You must be doing something right. You're obviously going around. You're having some of the best tables. You have some of the best bottles. You have some of the best girls. So now when you're backstage and everyone wants to be where you're at and every high roller's asking for your girls and where you're at, guess what? It's time to evolve. But how did I evolve? I didn't necessarily evolve myself. I obviously have to thank the people who helped me. And obviously it takes two. You know, it takes me representing myself and that person representing them. And they said, hey, listen, we see what you can do. Like, let's bring you on the team. Shout out the people who brought me on. I don't want to say any names, but shout out Groot Hospitality. I now work for some of the biggest nightclubs in Southwest Florida. Not only do I work at Dare Day and Nightclub, not only do I host some of my own events there, but I actually work at Live, South Beach. I work over at Gekko. I work over at Komodo. I've been offered to work at Swan and a few other places. I have a lot of avenues, a lot of streams, a lot of revenue streams. So now, right, let's take it a step back. I got a podcast.
I was gonna say, hold on, shout out to you because those are the best clubs in Miami. So you didn't just make it out here. You made it out here and you did it the right way.
Yeah, like, bro, because think about it like this. I was just representing the college bars, and I never represented any brand besides my own. All these promoters, all these promotion companies wanted me on their team, but guess what? They said that I wasn't promoting for them. I wasn't doing what they wanted to. Little did they know I'm walking 50, 60 people in the door because I'm posting saying, hey, go to Keys Bar, go to Pelican Larry's. And I'm not saying it through their promotion team. I'm saying it through me. And then like, oh, maybe I give a little free cover. Maybe I do a little bit of this. But I was never represented under their label. I was represented under McGriddy's Club Buzz. So now, moving forward, I got this whole thing. I'm working at Live. I'm working at I'm working at Gekko. I'm working at Dare Day and Nightclub. And like, I had a media team behind me, and not a team, but myself and my friend who was just a photographer. Because after I threw my first thing, he's like, hey man, Mateo, I see what you can do. He's like, let's work together. And like, I'd love to kind of just work with you. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I got this camera. He's like, we could do wonders together. I'm like, yeah. So you see the girls around you? And I go, yeah. He goes, let's make a story with this camera. All right, bro, let's do it, you know? And like, that's what we're doing right now. We're making a story, and this is going to be, coming for days on end. And I hope, nothing best and nothing less for you, your career, and what you want to do for this podcast and moving forward, helping other people out. Because I know you got that, and I know you got that in mind, and I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I want to ask you, like, what would you say sets you apart from all the other promoters? Like, how are you able to get so many people in? And so many, like you're saying, good-looking women.
So yeah,
quality over quantity, but it seems like you have quality and quantity.
Yeah, so that's where, like, I have a smile on my face, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? I wouldn't be able to work where I'm at. I wouldn't be able to work at Live. I wouldn't be able to work at Gekko. I wouldn't be able to work at Dare Day and Nightclub if I didn't have good-looking girls. I wouldn't be able to get free $5,000, $10,000 tables with $3,000 to $5,000 in bottles, and like how I set myself apart. You show these people a good VIP experience. You show people that they can be safe. You show people that you can advertise, market, and put yourself in a different stream. Now, if you're just going to be like anyone else, I'm going to post up with 3 to 5 girls every day, do what I got to do. Okay, cool. But that's only get you so far. I'm not saying just to post up with girls. I'm not saying that's where it starts, guys. Now, branding yourself, now marketing, now putting yourself in a trickle-down effect and actually working reaching out to people, going out and showing face at these clubs, knowing who you want to talk to and not just blowing smoke up people's butts. That's what I'll tell you right now. So, I know I got a lot to say on how to say it, but I'll tell you right now, this podcast alone has done wonders because it made me want to go places. So I actually did my episode 3 on Dare Day and Night Club with Candyman.
Nice.
You guys can see that. He's a great guy. Hit me and him up for VIP lists. Girls, you get him for free. We'll help you out with tables. We'll help you out get the best prices that we can. But if you go there, I actually did it within Dare Day Club, and I filmed it in there, and I did my actual podcast when the day club was closed. Now, this is some behind-the-scenes stuff. This has never been said on camera, so only here at 305 Hustle.
Yes, sir.
But I actually had to do it with someone who, not only Candyman, but I don't want to say the other name, but he actually lied and said he was the creative director for the Hard Rock, and he was actually only the graphic designer. And he lied about it on camera when he did his interview with Candyman. So I had to take him off, and then I had the director of Nightlife tell me that I had to take it off, and then I had to put it out there just with Candyman because they didn't want someone saying false information about who worked for them. So then I had to redo the project. I had to re-put it out there. It took me 3 to 4 months because I was so discouraged. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know what to do. Someone's like, hey man, like you got to run with it. Like, I don't care what you got to do, how you got to do it, but they're like, you have something special and just do it. Like, I see what you got to do. I see the passion you have. Shout out for you saying that to me. And you know who you are, but like you know, help me with edits, help me do all this stuff. I had a whole, it's not just one person, you know what I mean? I had a whole team of people working behind me, believing in me, just saying, even when I didn't believe in myself, like, hey, like, move forward because if you don't, like, someone else is gonna, so you got to do this for yourself. And I wanted to make that legacy. So some days we're better than others, you know, but shout out episode 3 on McGriddy's Club Buzz because I think that was one of my turning points in the nightlife industry because now, not only am I working at the biggest nightclubs in Florida, not only do I have a podcast, it's different because no one's doing a podcast within a day club in Southwest Florida. Yeah. No one's putting things out and people out because who hasn't? Okay, yes, there's a couple nightlife podcasts, and shout out to you, and you know who you are, and shout out to my mentor because, man, that's a great one, bro. And you push me every day to do what you got to do, and people like you, man. I actually got my inspiration for episode 4 from you.
No way.
I look at me.
Yo,
I
that's
swear.
what's up. Hey.
So, and I don't want to say like I stole the idea from you. I didn't steal anything. I think you have such a great thing. You have such a great view. Look where we're at, guys. We're in Miami, Florida. I wasn't even in Miami. But I actually got to give you a background about this before I give you a background about that because this is really what led me into where I'm at. So, I saw the opportunity I had, and I want to put my money where my mouth is. And I said, how am I going to show people that I have the most quality women? Not quantity. I'm not bringing... And yes, I have brought 100 plus people to a club before, by the way. But I don't do that every time. I'm not the best promoter out there. I'm not the best host out there. But I sell my tables, I sell my tickets, and I definitely bring a lot of quality women. How would I be able to show that I have quality? Can I ask you that? Just quality women being a promoter? Kind of you know what I do and how I do it. But how would you be able to put that out there and say, hey, how can you show me you have quality girls?
I mean, if you're pulling up with models that are winning competitions, that's a
pulling up
great
with
way
models,
to put
right?
it.
Okay, I was already doing that, though. So, and people was already saying, after I was pulling up the models, you're not pulling up the best. Okay. So now what am I going to do? Sitting there doing my thing. I had an idea. One thing led to another, and I said, light bulb. Oh, let's start our own modeling agency.
How long ago was that?
5 months ago, bro.
Oh, nice. Congrats, yo.
It's 5 months
making
ago.
moves out here. You don't stop.
It's not about even not stopping. It's just like...
You just see opportunity and you run with it.
Well, yeah, and I have a goal, and it's like if I see something, I just try to put my knowledge and my expertise and being an entrepreneur, and I run with it. You know what I mean? Going back to branding, marketing, advertising, putting a team together. I can't do this all myself. And yes, I have the resources. I have the team. I have the people. I have the interns. I have lists of photographers, probably 10 or 15. I probably have about like 1 or 2 every week just saying, hey, can we work with you? Can we shoot content for you? Can we do things for your models? That's cool, bro. But that's not what we need. I need someone who's professional. I need someone who's going to work with me. I need someone who's going to collaborate. You guys can hit me up anytime. If you guys are about what your business is, definitely would love to work with you guys. Now, guys, are you going to get paid every time? I'm just going to tell you right now, for the resources, the knowledge, the places that I'm putting with you, and the networking that I can evolve, we can work to things to where it's like, some people get paid, some people don't. But you gotta show me it's worth paying you. You know what I mean? And I'm all about paying people for sure. But when you're putting them in places where it's like, hey, I'm gonna put you at a club, we're gonna get free dinner, and we're gonna be around 10 models today, and it's gonna put your brand and my brand out there. I'm not saying I don't want to pay people, but I have 10 people asking to work with me for free. Hey, I will shoot with you as long as I can be next to you all night. Hey, can I be next to you because you're contacts?
Yeah.
Hey, can I be with you because you go to this dinner? Hey, shout out to everyone who's helped me out. Shout out to Groot Hospitality for throwing me free dinners, doing stuff, comping the girls, giving them the VIP experience that kind of elevates that Miami nightlife. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think of clubs and bars in Miami? What do you think of? You think of Live. You think of big high-end dinners. You think of things and models and influencers and people that are going to put you out there. I wouldn't say New York City, but this is the tropical New York City.
Yeah.
One of the tropics.
For sure.
What were you going to say? Because it seemed like you want to say something.
No. I was just agreeing with you.
No,
sure.
yeah.
We're like the tropical New York, definitely.
It is. And going back to that, I'm going to tell you right now. So, like, there's a lot of things and a lot of trickle down that I kind of want to tell you about. But the modeling agency, I had this idea and I said, hey, I want to run with it, right? Modeling agency, boom. Now, all I was doing is taking pictures of beautiful girls, doing this stuff. I actually didn't even sign a model yet. I actually helped run another fashion show. I was in the works of already making my modeling agency around like maybe August, July, because I already had the works of it. And then like I talked about it, and then like I got the team together for it, because it takes time.
Yeah.
You can't just say, hey, I had this idea overnight. And if you do, guys, and you did that, applaud to you, because there's some of those people who did it. And if you did, you know what you had to do it. But here's the thing, right? Modeling agency, this and that, blah, blah, yada, yada. I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, I'm filling up these girls in these castings. And now when I'm filling up these girls in these castings, guess what people do? They put me out there and they go, hey, tell your girls what to do. Tell them. Now they're all looking at me like, hey, like, what do we do? And like, I don't want them to feel like they're in an unorganized environment. So
yeah.
What's an entrepreneur or CEO do? They're gonna run the reins, man. I don't care if I'm getting paid the way I want to or not. I'm not gonna look stupid. And some people out here, guys, you run events and you really don't know what to do, and you don't have the team behind you. You don't have these managers or people telling, like, organizing and just having structures and having leaders. And I think that's the difference between me, you, and a lot of other people out here in Miami. We're telling people what we want to do. We show people what we want to do, and people follow because they trust us and our visionments. And like, we're entrepreneurs, man. You're a true entrepreneur. Look at you and how you're doing. You got your brand, you got your podcast, your advertising, your marketing. You're putting yourself out here more than the average person. You got it. I applaud you for what you do. Shout out to yourself, bro. Give yourself a little click with that little buzz, bro. Because you're a hustler, bro. Yeah. And like, you don't just gotta be a promoter out here to be a hustler. You don't just gotta be out here like wilding out. You don't gotta be out here with a bunch of girls just to show people what you're about. Guys, if you work, and you know what you do. You know what I mean? And like this modeling thing, right? This is what really is like the icing on the cake, because now people are seeing, hey, you're not just a promoter, you're not just selling tables, you're not just having your own brand, you're not just having your own podcast, you got your own agency, you're hosting fashion shows, you're organizing fashion shows, you're coordinating fashion shows, models, photo shoots, all this stuff. And here's the thing, right? So shout out December 15th. At Dare Day Nightclub. Shout out Good Life Miami. He is my business partner. Shout out Model and the Arts. So I'm going to tell you about a few things right now. This is December 15th. We're getting pretty close, and we're going to say how this story keeps evolving and talking. And I know I went through, high school, college, everything. I told you guys a lot of background about me today.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, this right here, this is where it's like, we're almost right here. This time in my life, this is a big turning point. Everything we do. And December 15th, I'd say it showed me pros and cons about what I want to do. Now, you know when you fight adversity and things don't just go your way? That's exactly what happened this day. So I've already had a couple great fashion shows. I had a couple beautiful girls down runways, but I wanted to take it a step further, and we did our thing. But during a day club, we had to fight rain. And imagine like bad weather during a day club and all this stuff. And like, obviously I had like 70 models sign up or something like that. Out of the 70 models, I think we had like 35 or 40 actually end up showing up or something like that. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at with this is that things happen, guys. Like, it's not easy, and I've been in places where it's like you get stressed out, you don't know what to do, and you got to figure it out for yourself. And we fought with the adversity, we made the best out of it, and I think we had a great outcome for what we did. Shout out Good Life Miami, shout out GL Magazine, shout out McGriddy's modeling agency, and shout out McGriddy's Club Buzz. Thank you, Dare Day and Night Club, for helping me out. We appreciate you and what you do. Shout out Julio for putting me on and just kind of like actually making that event happen for us, because that was one of the things that you left with us before actually moving out to your club, man, 440 Rooftop. So I'm going to tell you about that. That's why I tease this. I tease these people. There's a reason for it. So, hey, we had a good day. We had body paint. I don't know if you know what body paint is.
I mean, I could imagine, but I don't know who it is.
You paint on your bodies of girls and stuff like that. So during our event, we had girls getting painted on. We had playthings come out. They're like a modeling agency, and like they do like stuff and all that too. And they had their models. And I had my own models from McGriddy's modeling agency come out, represent just some ambassadors and stuff. I didn't actually have anyone signed at the time. But what I'm trying to get at with this is that I guess I saw an opportunity. And I said, here's what the opportunity is. You can either make or break it. And I wouldn't even say that one, but just the modeling agency in general, fashion in general. I want to evolve differently. So now, modeling, right? I want to host my own events. I want to do my own stuff, promotion. It comes down to this. Hey, what can you do and how can you do it? You got to collaborate with people. I can't do this all myself. You couldn't just do this all yourself. So here's what I had to do. I had to put my resources, my time, and my networking together. I said either I make this or I break it, because it's fresh. People saw what I'm doing. People like the fashion shows I put out. They like them. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm definitely not the worst. You know what I mean? And like I'm at some of the highest clubs.
You're just getting started.
When you're at Dare Day and Night Club, when you're at Live, when you're at all these places,
it's a great place to start.
Models,
yeah.
Great. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, shout out WBFF Entertainment, guys. They've been in the industry for 17 years. They're actually collaborating with me on an event. So now we got to talk about this. We're actually about to host our own fashion show for Swim Week out here.
Nice.
May 31st, guys. Shout out. Our first casting is March 8th. I don't want to say too much, but it's going to be a fashion contest. And like they do fashion and fitness. They incorporate all this stuff all into one, right? And it's crazy because me, Good Life Miami, and WBFF are all coming together to make this happen. And I had an idea.
And if the Miami Hustle could help, you already know we're out there.
And that's what I want to talk to you about after this podcast.
For sure.
How to make you a sponsor, how to put you out there, how to do things with you, because obviously you put your name, your brand, and you never know where it's going to go from there. But so what WBFF is, have you ever heard of Miss Universe?
Yeah.
Just like that. So these girls are coming from all around the world for the WBFF title of like pro and stuff like that. So I got girls coming from Brazil, Colombia, Japan, like girl and guy models, by the way. Mostly girls, but if guy models want to be in it too, that's great. Like fitness, fashion, incorporated. We're going to have designers. I'm actually going to be a designer for the first time in my own event, which I've never done before. So we're going to have McGriddy's merch. We're going to have Good Life Miami merch. We're actually going to have hopefully a collab on bathing suits with Good Life Miami and McGriddy Club Buzz merch. And shout out Good Life Miami. Guys, go to goodlifemiami.com/store. You can actually find some McGriddy's Club Buzz merch. You can find Good Life Miami merch. You're going to see a lot more on there. GL Magazine. You guys are going to see some stuff coming up, man. But why I say this is because GL Magazine, McGriddy's Modeling Agency, WBFF, the promotion company, McGriddy's Modeling Agency, hopefully 305 Miami.
Yes, sir.
We're all going to be like just putting it out there, collaborating with these models, and this is going to be a fashion show that we're going to try and make different that people never going to be seen before. I don't want to say too much over camera because it seems like people are trying to steal my ideas on what I want to do with this yacht and this fashion show. Guys, throw a fashion show on a yacht. Do what you got to do. I want to see you do it like we're about to do because I got some stuff cooking up. If you're working like me and my team and the people we got, I want to see if you can work with us, guys. Like, don't think you can all do it yourself. If you want to reach out all these avenues, do all this stuff differently, just reach out. Like, let's do something together. Now, if you want to be competition, if you want to hate, you can just do what you can. Maybe, guys, hate all you want, but I'm going to appreciate you guys and what you do. Appreciate me, too, and show me respect, and I'll do the same to you. But while I'm sitting here saying this, right, WBFF, Good Life Miami, and McGriddy's Club Buzz are going to show you guys something that's never been done before because, like, maybe it hasn't never been done before, but I'd like to say in Miami. And it's different, man, because we're going to have this modeling casting March 8th, guys, for our first time. And it's going to be at 440 Rooftop. It's going to be over in Wynwood, and there's going to be models coming from all around the world. We're going to have maybe about 80, 150 models coming out in the casting representing. We're actually going to be a 3-event like casting, and it's going to be 4 events in total. 4th one's going to be the swim meet event May 31st. Now, why I say this is because we're going to be incorporating a big thing with sponsors from all over, designers from all over, and people like coming out and just like branding, showcasing, advertising. Because I don't know if have you heard of the 440 Rooftop?
No.
Shout out, guys. So they're actually one of the newest venues in Wynwood. It's actually a 3-story venue. Each floor is like its own separate venue.
Nice.
So it's like the first floor is like something different. The second floor is something different. Third floor is something different. They're actual, like, they've been doing private events and giving it out to a lot of people, right? And now they're actually going to make it open to the public the weekend of our first casting.
Oh, nice. That's huge.
So guys, come out. Guys, hit me up if you want to get in for free. Hit me up if you want drinks. We can help you out. Girls, if you want to get in the modeling casting, we'd love to have you there. But why I say this, man? Can you tell I do podcasts?
Nice.
Shout out.
Yeah, no, you got a nice flow too. Like,
I can't wait to watch this because I'm fucking,
yeah.
I'm wild. But why I say this is because, dude, this is something that I want to evolve to. I want to show people that we're not new to this, we're true to this. Maybe I might be newer to the fashion industry and everything like this, but I'm going to tell you right now, WBFF, they reached out to me and they said, how can we collaborate together? Of course, we're running off their tour. We're doing all this stuff. And guys, WBFF, thank you for everything you've done. You guys know who you are. You guys know who you've done. Everything to just kind of evolve like our event. But here's the thing, right? When you have a team, you have people you can trust. I think that's everything. Obviously, we all have our moments. It's not easy running something. Here's the thing, right? When you're making an event come out of thin air, that's hard. I've never actually said, hey, well, I made proposals, I've done activations, and I've hosted events, but I literally am the glue, and I said, hey, I need to bring all my resources together, and I literally am organizing this whole event. What you guys see May 31st is because I literally said, hey, we need to come together and make this happen. And they said, hey, we need to come together and make this happen. Now, 2 ideas and becoming a team, this is not just all me. This is not just all them. This is not just all Good Life Miami. Now, all 3 entities coming together becomes very powerful. It becomes stronger, and now we have the whole locals of Miami. Now we have the models out here. Now we have people coming from all around the world that are potentially seeing this, our brands, our names, our sponsors, our designers. Guys, this is going to surprise me. I'm just telling you right now, and here's the thing, these events, they take months to coordinate and organize and run. I had this idea the end of November, just to start talking about it.
Yeah.
It was not, the proposal wasn't on paper until January 5th or like 10th. And it wasn't even like the promotion, reel and everything wasn't even out until like, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Not even, I'd say like 2 weeks ago, right before my birthday, February 1st, shout out. But what I'm trying to say is that organizing, running, coordinating podcasts, events, modeling agencies, models, brand deals, just being able to put yourself out there. Guys, shout out if you're an entrepreneur, shout out if you're hustling, shout out if you're in Miami, doing what you can. Shout out to the influencers, the providers, the hustlers, the families, the single mothers and fathers out there supporting their families, man.
Yes, sir. You already know.
Yeah, man, we just want to be different out here.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
It's the Miami hustle.
Yeah.
We're getting back to the brand. We're getting back to our
it's
city.
Really what it is, though. Yeah.
Tell me, man. Like, what do you have cooking? What do you have moving forward? Like, how do you feel like you want to evolve your brand?
Bro, there's a lot of things cooking right now. What I would love to do is start to throw events at least once a month to really bring the community out and get people together, have performances by local artists, and have brands out there, repping their brands and their merch and everything. And I would love to collaborate with you on those things as well. And bro, there's a lot cooking, but a lot of moves just need to be made. I need to hire a couple people to delegate more time so that I could move this brand where I really want it to be. Because as of lately, I mean, I've been learning a lot throughout the process. But within learning a lot, it takes a lot of time.
Well, you only have so many hands.
Yeah,
you only have so much focus. And here's the thing: if you hire people, that have that focus too, and you have the same focus together, now you guys are making a dream happen and a goal and a team.
Yeah, you got to build the team.
And that's what you're going to do, and I know you can make it happen, bro, and I hope the best for you, what you do. I'd love to collaborate with you.
Appreciate that.
And I'll tell you right now, if you have people, if you have anyone wants to collaborate, local artists, local DJs, if you can bring me 50 to 100 to 200 people, tell me what you can bring. Show me what you can do. We can host events together. Guys, if you could bring me 1,000 people and you're guaranteeing that, if you are a brand that says, hey, McGriddy's Club Buzz, we can guarantee you 1,000 people. We can guarantee you 10 influencers. We can guarantee you 10 tables that will be sold for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Guess what, guys? We have a venue. We have money to be made, and let's start working before someone else does it before us.
Yeah, straight up.
And same thing with you. This is where it starts right here on this podcast. You heard it first. Yo, let's work together. Let's collaborate.
Yo, honestly, you said that I inspired you to do that episode. Bro, you're inspiring me to do all of these events as well. I mean, it's crazy how life works because I've been saying this for months now, if not for a year, that I need to implement nightlife into the Miami hustle and I need to incorporate throwing events. So you are basically the nightlife guy, and you've been throwing events with models. So
and
it's
I do
like
day events, so fitness events, so anything. Dude, it doesn't. Here's the thing, right? McGriddy's Club Buzz, guys. I'm gonna trickle it down for you guys, right? I don't even know if you know Miami Hustle. He obviously has his reasons, his terms, but everyone. I got McGriddy's Club Buzz because I want to talk about the buzz with all the clubs in Southwest, South Florida, anything that has to do with the U.S. and a club. I want to talk about it. If you're in Vegas, you have a fashion show going on, let's talk. It's in a club. Let's talk about how you're involved in that. You have dinners that you want to incorporate into your stuff. You want models to come out there. Let's talk about that high-end dinner and how we can incorporate events there with fashion shows and everything. Cool. Guess what? Clubs, they don't just throw parties. They throw events. They throw corporate events. They have people there that do awards. They do things. They put people out there. And I want to talk about the buzz and events that are going on in your clubs, in your venues. And just shout out from there. You know, hey, guys, because if you're doing something that people want to hear about and talk about, sponsors, if you want to come out and you want to talk about your thing, get on his podcast. Talk about him, what he can do. Get on me with me and, like, talk about what we can do. Guys, if you're a venue, if you're an event, if you're a label, we can help you. We can put you out there. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, like me and you, that's where it starts. I can help you throw events. You give me a proposal. You're like, hey, Mateo, I got 100 people right now at 5 sponsors. Let's work. Oh, bet. Let's work. And I'm going to start writing that piece of paper immediately. And then you go home and hit up. I'm going to hit up my business partner, Good Life Miami. I'm going to hit up the other people around me. And, like, here's the thing, right? He's my business partner and he's my friend. And, like, he has his own separate entity and I do too. But we're all smart people. And this man's been in the industry for 20 plus years and nightlife doing his thing. And shout out to him, man, because he does what he has to do. And, like, I don't know, it just makes me happy knowing there's good people out there because it's hard, man. And I know even on this podcast, you guys can probably see I got a million things going on at once. And I've only told you guys what I want you to know on camera.
And I
you
feel
know
like
what I mean?
you're just getting started.
We both are.
So, yeah. So I feel like we're lucky to have you on the podcast this early on into your modeling career, aside from everything else that you've already accomplished.
Cheers. Cheers.
Bro, we're going to keep supporting you. I feel like you're definitely... This was a great first episode because we got to know who you are, your background, and what you recently started doing. Because, to be honest, I feel like you're brand new to this. It's crazy that you just started promoting.
Just started within a year.
Bro, you're definitely going to be back on the podcast. We're going to do a lot more work with you. I want to see how we can collaborate together and really bring the community together. Because I feel like Miami, it's a huge city, but at the same time, it's a very small city.
Yeah.
And we could definitely impact each other's lives by just being around each other and building. So
you couldn't have said it any better, Chris. And, like, evolving from that, you know what I mean? Like, how do you see us working together? Not only with events, not only with podcasts, but I'd love to have you on my podcast too.
Oh, yeah,
talk about what you do.
100%.
Talk about your life. Talk about your background. Man, 305 Hustle's a real thing, man. You give me chills.
Yeah, for real.
So it's like incorporating what you do, knowing how you do things. It's like, bro, you can work, and guys, hit him up. Shout out 305 Hustle. Shout out Chris. Shout out the man behind the scenes, working the camera. What's his name again?
EJ.
EJ, man. We appreciate you, what you do. You do magic behind that camera. Shout out Model in the Hearts. Shout out to McGriddy's modeling agency, and shout out to the people who are really helping me evolve that name, brand, and guys, if you want to work, if you want to help, if you have anything to add to the table, please let us know. Guys, for tables, VIP lists, if you want to come out and have that experience out here in Miami, let me know. We'd love to help you out. We'd love to work with you guys. So I know I've been talking a lot.
Nah, let's go. Yo, shout out to McGriddy. You already know, yo. Thank you so much for being on the show,
man,
bro. It's first
because
of
I
many.
can go on. I can go on.
Nah, you're good, bro. It's the first of many. Until next time, bro.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Shout out the date again. It's gonna be May
31st.
May 31st.
Yes, shout out Swim Week, guys. You already know. Shout out WBFF. Shout out Good Life Miami. Shout out McGriddy's modeling agency. Shout out McGriddy's Club Buzz and what we have going on. And not only us, but shout out 305 Hustle, man.
Yes,
shout
sir.
out Miami, baby.
Shout
Let's
out
go.
Miami too. Let's go. Yo, that was fire, bro.
Yeah, it's
Good
fire.
shit.
It's
That was
fire. I
amazing.
appreciate